Hello, I'm here today with retired master astronaut Leland Melvin and our dogs. And so this here is Jordy, and Leland is with Zorro and Roo. And we love teaching our furry family friends about science, but Leland also extends that passion to helping students. And so I got a couple of questions here. The first is that obviously as an astronaut, you've had some experience talking with students from a distance. And so what was one of your favorite educational events during a space shuttle mission?
Oh my goodness. We were going around the planet every 90 minutes, seeing a sunrise and a sunset every 45, as you know. And we were being interviewed by Tom Joyner. He has a radio show that reaches 1 million people in the Black community. And we were having some hijinks, say, can you moonwalk? What is it like? What are you flying over? But there were these, people on the ground that were stopping their cars to have their kids listen to this because they were talking about this is history. The first time the two African American men went space at the same time. And after we had that event, I remember getting back home and people sought me out to tell me that they're going to go into aerospace engineering. They're going to go into this because they heard that moment in space of us flying and doing some hijinks. So that was really exciting to know that people heard that and wanted to then go into science and engineering because of it.
Wonderful. And then you are working with Varsity Tutors. And so can you talk a little bit about what that is and the types of audiences it serves?
Yeah, so we're reaching out to, students all over the country. And, one of the things when we do these classes, at the end of each lesson, I take a picture with the students. We're looking up and doing things. And I see kids in NASA gear and flight suits, EVA suits, pumpkin suits, the whole gamut. And, it inspires me so much to just see the next generation of explorers ready to pursue their space dream at every age. And that's why I partnered with Varsity Tutors, which is one of the nation's largest platforms for live online learning and tutoring. And its mission is very simple: to help people learn. Its solutions are available directly to students, live online learning and tutoring in classes. And I do this because I it's free. These kids that sign up to come in doesn't cost them anything. I mean, there are paid services that they do also, but we get all these kids coming on to watch and listen about space and science, and some of them are going to be that next generation of explorers. So it's very exciting.
That's wonderful. And we have representatives from Varsity Tutors listening in as well. So it's really great to be sharing that experience. And what is the latest course that you're working on and how does it relate to other ones that you've done in the past?
Yeah, so we always hit Elizabeth on space. I've had a chance to go in space 2 times, and that excitement. You can teach, and this time we're going to teach about the scientific method to our learners to have them understand the framework for really solving problems and being excited about how to, you make an observation, you ask a question, you form a hypothesis, you design and construct an experiment to prove your hypothesis, you analyze the data, and you keep doing it over and over again. And so that's one of the things I think that many kids don't understand how to be a scientist or engineer. But if you give them and arm them with this process for solving problems, that's exactly what we do as scientists and engineers. We solve problems, and this method will help them start at an early age for doing that.
And what are you hoping that students are going to be getting out of the course besides the scientific method?
Well, I think, just to be curious and that we're lifelong learners. I mean, I am much older than most of the kids that we teach, but I'm still having fun riding my bicycle, playing with my dogs, being curious, looking up at the night sky and seeing the space station going overhead and wondering, I know it's going 17,500 miles per hour, but all these things around our world today that, we have to solve problems on. And no matter what age you are, you can be curious and solve problems and build things and create things.
That's great. And then for those of us who want to be an astronaut, I mean, I still will. How does science help us aside from knowing about the rockets?
Well, there's so much more than just the rocket getting into space. Once you get to space, you have to sleep, you have to live, you have to prepare food, you have to do all these other things besides just knowing about the rocket. And the human aspects of living and working in space. I mean, what happens to your heart? Does it get bigger? Does it get smaller? Well, it actually gets smaller because it doesn't have to pump as much blood. How does your vision behave in space? Sometimes your vision changes in space. So we're actually scientific guinea pigs in space for the rest of humanity because we've only had, I think, about 600 people go to space. And when you think about all the people on the planet, we are giving that data back so that we can figure out things about bone density loss in space and maybe design new ways to learn about osteoporosis. And so these are all things to help people back on planet Earth while we're doing this exploration in space.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That was retired NASA astronaut Leland Melvin, along with his dog Zorro and Rue, still making cameos in the background there. And then thanks also to my dog Jordy right here. Talk to you soon.